Hey guys, my name is Heitor Fraga and I just came home from the session of the premiere of Captain America Civil War. I was just about to say that I'm come home from Batman v Superman. Anyway, this first video is a non-spoilery review of the movie by myself, of course. And I will, of course, do more videos soon. Maybe not today, but you know, tomorrow tops. Saying more stuff about this movie because I'll just start this video here saying that Captain America: Civil War is a excellent kickoff for the Phase 3 of Marvel in the cinematic universe. This movie is great in so many levels that it's actually hard to, enumerate the stuff that works in this movie and, pick up a list and say about it. I don't made a list, to be honest. I'm just saying this here. So, if at some point this, my dialogue turns out to be somehow kind of, weird, pretty much like it is now, you can understand why it's happening, okay? So, basically, Captain America Civil War is probably everything you hoped it would be, and probably on some aspects it's even better. At the same time, there is so many characters in this movie that there simply is not enough space for some of them to, show more detailed arcs. And I mean, if you are a big fan of determined small characters that are supportive to this whole Civil War scenario, you can feel a little bit sad because the movie does not correspond your hype about them. But none of the characters and situations and basically anything in this movie is lame or terrible or even bad on any level. Everything in this movie is so consistently and aligned in such a good way and in a smart way that is kind of obvious to see why Marvel pick up the Russo's brother to direct the Infinity War movies. To make it in numbers and make a plausible comparison among movies, I would say that for me personally, Captain America Civil War is better than Captain America the Winter Soldier. And that is a lot because Winter Soldier is probably the second best Marvel movie yet to date. I am still not sure if Captain America Civil War is better than the first Avengers. That for me is the best Marvel movie so far. It's like a definitive, ultimate, and complete version of the Avengers. For me personally, I know that many people don't think that way. But for sure, I believe Captain America Civil War is absolutely better than Avengers Age of Ultron. Easily better than Avengers Age of Ultron. It's, of course, a lot superior to the first Captain America and Iron Man 2 and 3, obviously. Better than Ant-Man 2, if you think about the overall concepts. Still not sure, as I said, about the first Avengers movie and about the first Iron Man movie. I think that the first Iron Man movie matches with Captain America the Winter Soldier, and by so I believe that Captain America Civil War is better than even Iron Man 1. I'll try to pick up some topics here because, of course, if I, continue just blabbing about this movie, I would not say anything, except that I think it's now it's in the top 2 movies of Marvel ever made to date. Starting with comments about the direction of this movie, the Russos' talent, I believe, for action movies and for storytelling in general, the way that they can make this exciting and thrilling story-driven movies. You know what I mean? Exactly like the Winter Soldier and now Captain America Civil War. It's just astounding to see how they managed to make it all work. If somehow people after the Winter Soldier were kind of not sure if the Russos could manage to pick up a good Avengers movie for Infinity War. I believe that after Captain America's Civil War come out, people will be so absurdly confident in them for these movies that it will explode even. They do an amazing job directing both dialogue scenes, humorous scenes. They have a great time for comedy cuts and directing. The action scenes for them are something spectacular. I have some problems with the specific airport scene. People have told around internet, and everyone that have saw the movie, that 90% of people that watched the movie say that the airport scene for Captain America Civil War is the best scene ever made for an action sequence in superhero movies. And in a way, I kind of agree with that, and I can't see why they would say something like it. But as a big fan of this, like, free flowing continuity to action scenes, pretty much like Joss Whedon, for example, did in the first Avengers, where this has this, like, I believe it's just one shot in the city that goes across the rooftops and the streets, and it follows all the characters interacting with one another in this beautiful big sequence of action. And I kind of miss that for Captain America Civil War. And I reckon that obviously that's not Russo's style to do something like it. They managed to make this quick action shots and cuts, so it's extremely thrilling and driven, and the action is really back and forth. Like in a box match or something, and that works great for example, the fight among Captain America, Iron Man, and the Winter Soldier, like it's seen in the trailers, for example. All this style of scenes is amazing. Everything that involves shots of Black Panther and Winter Soldier, and basically every character that does an amazing move at some point of this movie is extremely well directed by the Russos. But when you have, tons of different heroes in action at the same time doing different stuff and stunts, if you make really quick shots cutting among these specific fights like they do in the movie, it kind of you can see what I'm talking here, right? It has not this epicness feel to it. But that, of course, is just my impression of this specific style of shooting action. Of course, the way they do it is spectacular in the movie. It works greatly most of the movie. They do an incredible job, especially telling the story. And I will now just jump to the story part, the story comments. Again, in comparison, I think that the first Avengers movie have a better story than Captain America Civil War. I think that the first Avengers is a really, really simple story that is told among like 2 hours and a half, and it never get boring or tedious, or they do not spend time showing stuff that does not need to be showed, and that you do not want to watch. And I feel that personally this happens sometimes in Captain America Civil War. That's never a problem, because every scene that you can possibly think that is boring or tedious and that you do not want to watch, It's justified in the end, and they are really short among the movie. And there's so much epicness told among the story of the movie that you simply don't care about little stuff that are there just to be, you know. So that never actually becomes a problem for the movie. Um, at the same time, there is so much going on this movie in a sense that they have more than 10 characters, I believe, among the heroes, the main heroes for the Avengers and associates and enemies, and each character has a specific plot of moral consequences and personal feelings and the way they react to the accords, the way they react to what's happening on screen, you know. And the Russos managed to, film that so well. And the storytellers, the people that made the script, it's McFly something, something like it. It's so well done and well written. Them, I mean, it has an incredible script, story, and storytelling for this movie is amazing, for real. Just to compare, Captain America: Civil War have so much stuff going on screen than Batman v Superman have on screen too. And while Batman v Superman does not work because of all the things that is happening, and you don't care about three shits about what's going on screen, you just want to see Batman and Superman punching each other and free flowing among the story. And Captain America: Civil War is the total opposed to that. There is like tons and tons of stuff happening in the screen at every time, and characters have their personal agendas and stuff. And each one of those stories is so interesting and well written and well directed again that it all is extremely compelling. And I mean, you simply give a shit about what's happening, and that means everything to a movie where there is so many stuff happening at the same time. And just to pick up the hook about the specific arcs of the characters, each team and each character have a specific amount of time off screen, and they are really, really well balanced. In a sense that Captain America, of course, is the most shown character in the whole story because, of course, it's his film and you follow him among what's happening basically, and the other characters kind of orbit him in throughout the story is told. But every Avenger have their time to shine out and do an incredible stunt and do the moral and personal agenda they have for the movie explain it. And all their personalities is incredibly well written and evolved and disinvolved in the movie. Vision, for example, that was like this sentient robot in the end of Avengers: Age of Ultron, now have feelings basically. He's starting to humanize himself at the same time that other characters like Wanda, I don't know how it's spelled in English, sorry. Scarlet Witch, basically. She's growing morally and she's getting in control of her powers, and she's so OP that you can't even believe in this movie. Every character have their arc grown in scale and in meaningfulness. Is that a word? But you can see where I'm trying to get here, right? Each character have their arc developed in an extremely great way, and you will love each one of them. I feel that some characters among this main cast is kind of put aside on that. I feel that the movie focused really well on Wanda's story, and the Vision story is well written too, and Falcon has some nice stuff. The Winter Soldier, Iron Man, and Captain America, of course, have their arc extremely explored. Sharon Carter, for example, have nice moments in this movie, but I feel that War Machine and Black Widow have not evolved like at all in this movie. Um, War Machine kind of remains in the shadow of Iron Man, but I feel that he's starting to get some more uh, personality for itself. It begins to be more explored as a different character. It's all outside of just the uh, friend of Tony Stark that has an armor, like it's shown in Iron Man 3 and Iron Man 2, for example. And Black Widow is kind of evolved in her relationship with Steve Rogers and how they are like really pals in this movie. But I mean, they have not a that was a car. Just saying. They have not this very big and extended arc for show new stuff about them. It's just an evolving scale for them. What is great, but maybe a little disappointing if you are a specific fan of these both characters. What else I can say? Spider-Man, um, Spider-Man steals the show basically. Um, he's so good. He's definitely the best Spider-Man ever made to date. In a sense that he have around 15 minutes of screen, maybe or so, and still he's the best Peter Parker and the best Spider-Man ever told. Um, and I mean, it's usual to see fanboys of Marvel saying that to see these characters well represented in screens, be they who they want to be, like X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, anything that is outside of Marvel Studios, to see that well depicted in the big screen, you have to, return it back to Marvel Studios because they know what they are doing. And many people say that it's not true because I mean they have flaws among their movies. They can do bad stuff, but at the same time in 15 minutes they made what 5 movies haven't accomplished yet with Sony. I mean it has been over a decade, and in 15 minutes of screen they have solved the entire personality for Peter Parker and Spider-Man the way it should have been shown in screens so far. So I mean, it's really hard to disagree with Marvel fanboys at some points. I'll make a Spider-Man specific video later because it has so many space to discussion about this character and Tom Holland that is an incredible actor. And just to say about actors, I think that what everyone's saying that the the actors for this movie are doing these specific roles for so long now that they are totally killing it. They grew so fond of these characters and their personality, and the way they have to depict it in screen basically, that it kind of feels that they don't need anymore anyone to direct them. They know what these characters do, how they have to act, how they have to react to stuff. Chris Evans so far is the living embodiment of Captain America. You see him on screen, and it's just unbelievable how this guy can make a character like this that is so black and white, extremely gray in the movie, and depict it so incredibly well that is actually astonishing, to be honest. I mean, for real, man, Captain America Civil War is a great movie. The actors are killing it, the action is great, the direction is great, the storytelling is great. the movie have um, I I would like to say that the movie has flaws, because then it means that Marvel can make mistakes, and we all know that Marvel can make mistakes. But when I'm talking to you here, I can't remember of a specific mistake of this movie. I think that the biggest mistake this movie have made in its story and telling uh, is that Zemo kind of looks like Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman, and that's a kind of a bad thing. But at the same time, it's so much better than Luthor in Batman v Superman that it's kind of wrong to compare. To be honest, Zemo's motivations in Captain America: Civil War are so clear and relatable and human that you actually do not you can empathize to this villain so much that his plan makes sense, on opposite to Lex Luthor's. Their way to act, to influence among stuff, and is overthinked plan is really alike in stylish, but you can understand Zemo's motivations and you can relate to it, and that, I mean, humanize his character so much that it's not a big deal at all in the movie. So say that I'm kind of ricious. That's not a word. I'm afraid of saying that this movie is a 9 out of 10 to me, because I'm afraid to wake up tomorrow and, I mean, be a little less impacted by this movie and want to diminish my vote for it. But at the same time, I'm comfortable with an 8.5 to it out of 10. But I think that the movie deserves more than it. So I'll give a 9 out of 10 to the movie, because I totally think it's an amazing movie that people will love and will make tons of money, because it's a great work that Marvel have done with Captain America: Civil War. And I sincerely hope from the bottom of my heart to not wake up tomorrow, have different thoughts about this movie, because I sincerely and genuinely believe it's a great movie. Probably the second best Marvel movie ever made to me, if not the first, if not matched to the first Avengers in the first place. It's a really great movie. It has so many great moments that I will talk later in the spoiler review. This is the non-spoiler review, of course. So guys, that's kind of it, I guess. I mean, thank you very much for watching this long. If you did watch this long, give your like to the movie. Yes, you can watch this movie and give your like. But give your like to this video, please. That really helps me. And subscribe to the channel to check out the new videos when it come out. I'll try to make more videos. I'm actually having a big 20 minutes long video about Thor seemingly weakness in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I have some really hard times with it, to be honest. So I can't say when it will be ready to post, but it will happen soon, I guess, and I hope. So please give your like, subscribe, share this video if you want to. I'll be posting more stuff about Civil War very, very soon. I love you all and see ya.